Now, actually, this is the new topic. Already we have done the introduction part in the online class. This is the first video of the control and coordination. The topic name is control and coordination. And in this one, the introduction part already we completed in the online class. This is the video for the information. Now, we know for anything and everything, we need some controlling factor. Similarly, in the living organisms, all the body organs are under the control of the brain, that is the nervous system. Now, control and coordination. Coordination means what? Working together. Working with one another is called coordination. That means what? Producing a proper response to the stimuli. The systems will coordinate. For example, nervous system, endocrine system, they will coordinate and they will respond to the stimulus. The needy response they will give. That means what? Producing a proper response to the stimulus by coordination of the different systems. Working together. The nervous system can work along with the endocrine system like that. Now here you see, stimulus. Every living organism will, including plants, will respond to the environmental changes. Whatever change in and around, we will be responding. So that is called as the stimulus. Stimulus is responding to the environmental change. That is the response we are giving. Now here, the systematic working of various organs of an organism is very much important. The organism means it might be animal, human being or a plant, whatever it may be, a systematic working process should be there. It is not a zigzag and uncontrolled way, uncontrolled manner. The working of the organ system should be in the systematic manner. The systematic working of various organs in our body. Various organs, brain, heart, lungs, all these organs are there. No? Various organs of an organism is very much important. And so, in the organisms, that means organisms means whether it might be small or big, animal, human being, whatever it may be, many organs and organ systems are working. And these organ systems should work with coordination. So, the systematic working of various organs of an organ system is very important. See, the systematic working of various organs of an organism, of an individual. That means the nervous system can coordinate with endocrine system and the blood circulatory system can coordinate with respiratory system and kidney functioning. Like that, the two systems are coordinating each other and working in a systematic procedure. That is very important in the individual level. Now for the control and coordination, we need two systems actually. What are the two systems here for control? Nervous system along with muscular system. The two systems are with coordination. Nervous system with muscular system, it is working. Even endocrine system. All these two systems are very important for the systematic working of the various organs of an organism. They need two systems, mainly nervous system and endocrine system. Normally nervous system. So the main work function of the nerves means taking the messages and sending them to the brain. Again, brain is giving the orders, taking them to the organs. This is the work going on working in the body. And now there are many receptors. The receptors are located in our sense organs. We know that everyone is having sense organs. So tactile receptor, touch. For touch, what is that? Tactile, touch, pain, pressure. Tactile receptor is there in the skin. Gustatory receptor, that is the tongue, to taste it. Gustatory receptor. And here, audio means what? Listening. And optic means what? Just visual. And olfactory is what? Olfactory receptor is there to smell it. Olfactory receptor, optic receptor, audio receptor and gustatory receptor and tactile receptor. All these receptors are located in the sense organs mainly, and the information, whatever be the information, touching the hot object or anything is pinching or biting, ant is biting, all these information is detected by the tip of the nerve cell. So what is the information we are giving? That will be detected by the tip of the nerve cell and carried to the brain or spinal cord for the needy action. The tip of the nerve cell will be detecting. Normally you see, first of all the nerve cells are rest position. Whenever any stimulus comes, the nerve impulse, it will be activated. Each nerve impulse will create 0.055 volts of electricity in the body. 0.055 volts of electric current in the body. Then how? The nerve cell structure you see here, they are detecting, the nerve strips are detecting and transporting the message from one nerve cell to one nerve cell and going to the muscle, and from the muscle it is going to the brain, and so the nerves which are taking the message from the sense organs to brain are sensory nerves, and the nerves which are coming back from brain to the organs are called motor nerves. See children, you have to identify nerve, that is a neuron and a nerve. Neuron is the nerve cell. Number of neurons are bunched and connected in a connective tissue forms a nerve. Neuron is a single nerve cell. Number of nerve cells, the bunch of the axons are connected in a connective tissue, that is a nerve. Sensory nerves are from sense organs to brain, and motor nerves are from brain to sense organs. Coming back to the neuron structure, how they are detecting and transmitting the message from one to another part in the body. The nerve cell is called as the neuron. This is the fundamental unit of nervous system. The basic structural functional unit of nervous system is neuron. Structural functional structure of the nervous system is neuron, a nerve cell. We know in our nervous system we are having n number of neurons, nerve cells. This is the longest cell in our body which carries message and takes back the message to the brain, brain to sense organ. Continuously it is working. Apart from the neuron, there are some cells called glial cells. These are the supporting cells. Glial, for example, say that 10 lakhs neurons are there, 10 times the glial cells will be there. 10 into 10 lakhs. These glial cells are supporting and protecting, nurturing the nerve cells. Coming back the nerve cell structure, each nerve cell is having three main parts: dendrites, cyton, axon. Dendrite, see, these are the extended parts. These are called as the dendrites. Cyton is the cell body. What is cyton? Cyton is the cell body which consisting of nucleus, cytoplasm, and micelle granules. These are all together present in the cell body called as cyton. And one of the dendrite is elongated. Elongated dendrite is called axon. A nerve cell can have number of dendrites but only a single axon. And the axon is covered by a myelin sheath. And wherever the nodes of Ranvier. These are the breaking parts. So what is the main function of this myelin sheath? Some neurons are having myelin sheath, some neurons are unmyelinated. This myelin sheath will prevent the leakage of the information and carries the information quicker than the unmyelinated neurons. That is the main function of the myelin sheath. And the axon ends with the nerve endings. So this is the cell body, cyton consisting of nucleus, cytoplasm, micelle granules. And these are the finger-like structures you see, projections called as dendrites. And one of the dendrites is elongated called as axon. Nerve cell will have one axon and many dendrites. The axon is covered with a myelin sheath, and here the breakers are there, nodes of Ranvier. The myelin sheath will prevent the leakage of the information and carries the information very quicker than the unmyelinated neurons. The axon ends with the nerve endings. This is the structure of the neuron and how the message is carried in the neuron. So, the dendrites are there. First of all, any stimulus is happening, the nerve impulses are caused. That means they are the electric impulses. These electric impulses are carried by dendrites. Dendrites will collect the electric impulses, and from dendrite they are moving to cyton, cell body. From cell body they are moving to axon. So here electric impulses are carried by dendrites and they are moving to cyton. This is the flowchart I am telling. Cyton is the cell body. From cyton they are moving to axon. Now, at the end of the axon, the nerve endings, the nerve terminals are there. So, when they are moving, then what happens? The electric impulses are releasing certain chemicals. So, the electric impulses are releasing certain chemicals. Then, the chemicals, when they are jumping, are crossing the synapse. What is the synapse? The gap between the two nerve cells is called as the synapse. From this nerve endings to next dendrites of the neuron. When they are crossing the nerve endings and going to next nerve cell, they will be again converted into electrical impulses. That means the dendrites are collecting the electric impulses. They are traveling through cyton and axon. End of the axon, these electric impulses will release some chemicals. These chemical messages, when they are crossing the synapse, then again they are converted back into electric impulses. So the next neuron dendrites are collecting the electric impulses. Again they are going to cyton, axon, nerve endings, converting into chemical messages and transmitting to the, means crossing the synapse, again electric. The same scenario will be continued in the each and every nerve cell. Like the message will be transmitted from the parts to brain and brain to other part. Sometimes the nerve endings are directly, this is a muscle and these are the nerve endings. So this is called as neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction. They are directly going into the muscle cell and passing the message. So like that, the message will be transmitted in the neurons one to another and carried to the respective organ, from that to brain. Again brain gives the order, going to the sense organs. Like this, the nerve system will be working. Thank you.